right, everybody, we are back from our hiatus.
Hiatus.
I guess you could
I'm
say.
glad we said that in unison.
So I am your host, AJ Graham. I'm with my co-host Jamie Johnson. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not Johnson anymore.
No, no. It's even shorter. It is Sear now.
Jamie Sear.
Jamie
So
Sear.
that was the reason Jamie has been MIA for the past 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks ago, Jamie Johnson became Jamie Sear. And we got a couple pictures we will show you guys. Actually, you know what? Let's wait till some people come in
Yeah, we'll
here.
wait till we get some
We'll,
people to hop up in the comments. But
before some people,
catch me up on some current events before we hop too much into
oh,
me. What's been going on? Besides Jonathan Majors making Megan Good look like a complete fool.
we're past. We're not gonna talk about
So mad. Well, he had court today, and it's been pushed to September.
that. Was he still looking like a sharecropper?
He looked just like Homeboy from Get Out when he gets the flash in his face.
Mm-hmm. Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, bro.
Looking just like himself.
Right now, the hot topic right now in the news is Lizzo and all of her drama that she got going
But I'm not
on.
shocked, and I didn't like her in the first place. So this is no loss for me. I knew that she was fake when she pulled this whole "I'm a big girl, I want to put my booty hole all over the place. People are gonna see me in this jean short set bikini bullshit at a basketball game in front of children. I'm me, I love me." And then turn around to find out she fat shames other big girls because they're not allowed to be bigger than her on tour, but then they can't be too skinny on tour. And then she got them eating bananas out of vaginas. I didn't like her to begin with. So goodbye, Lizzo.
I caught some flack talking about Lizzo a couple months ago, a couple years ago. I
It
don't
was
know.
like, yeah, a couple months ago.
You know, I just said, like, I'm not attracted to her, and it has nothing to do with her being big, because
No.
I can show you a couple big girls that I have shot my shot with. You'd be like, that's a fine ass woman right there. Shout out to Jennifer
Hey, fine,
Sparks,
Jennifer.
if she ever listens. I don't know, but just Lizzo, I just wasn't attracted to her, and I got all the heat in the world for it. Oh, how dare you talk about her, and you don't like big girls, and you fat shaming and all this stuff. I'm like, man, I ain't saying nothing about this girl's weight.
I had nothing to do about her weight. She's just,
But
and you know,
I never, I don't know, that she always gave mean girl energy to me.
yes. Okay, so it wasn't just me. She gave me a very fake persona for the cameras with the fake smiles and the oh my god, Beyonce, I love you. It was always fake because every mean girl has that same fake persona. And it always
Yeah.
comes out. It's always going to come out. And look, it sure did. Marlena!
Hey, like Lizzo kind of remind me of some of the girls I went to high school with, where it was like, you're not strong, you're just mean.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a strong woman. You're mean.
You're mean. You're a mean
You're
girl.
rude. Like
And I'm going to call you a mean girl. And I don't care if you're trying to flip it back on me and be like, you're just saying I'm mean because I'm a big girl. I'm saying you're mean because you're mean.
right. So I wasn't surprised, but I am disappointed because I mean she was the the poster child for body positivity, and she was
Yes.
pushing that, and it's like you hurt your own movement.
You hurt your case. You literally you were in court, you were winning. Like Tyra Banks say, I was rooting for you. We were all
Rooting for
rooting
you.
for you. And this is what you did. I'm really disappointed. More for what she was trying to stand for than anything. Because I never
Right.
liked her as a person or as like a celeb. Like she had a couple of songs, I play them because they were on the radio, but she was never a favorite of mine. It's no loss for me, honestly.
After this happened, I was, start thinking about stuff like somebody should come up with like cancel insurance for celebrities. Like, oh, you said something stupid, like, you pay into this, and you fuck up your career, you fuck up your money. Well, hey, we got you a payout. Where here you go. You fucked
Hmm.
up. There you go. Because I'm sure there's a lot of celebrities like, damn, I wish I didn't say that, or
Call it the
you
fuck up
know,
insurance.
and it's not like it's some old tweet like, oh, she said something in 2009 or something like that, which I think is ridiculous. When people bring up these old tweets, like, come on,
Come
man,
on, don't go digging way back to, you know how many times I look at my old Facebook posts and I'm like, who
just
is
cringe,
this? Who
just.
who is this Jamie? Who allowed her to write this nonsense
I
back in
delete those posts.
2009? You know what? Maybe that's what I need to do. When they come up in my memories, I'm just gonna delete them because when
Just
I
delete
see
them.
them, I'm like, oh, who is this person? And why is she so illiterate? And why is she using capital and small letters at the same time?
Oh, you were one of those
I
people.
was one of those. I was one of those people who would
Oh,
I would
Jamie.
tell you what I was doing every moment of the day when Facebook first came out.
Oh
I was
shit.
that, getting on the train to work, reading a book on the train, walking to the office from the train station. Guess what I'm
That's
eating for lunch? Just getting home, I was that person who used Facebook as a live diary. And I'm
be
so
more of
ashamed because when I see them, I'm like, why did I even write this? Every time I read them, I'm like, why did I write this? Who needed to know this?
my,
Nobody.
my my memories are usually a source of my own self-inflicted cringe. Like, oh shit, let me delete this now before somebody starts digging and be like, look what AJ said back in
Listen,
2010.
the way Black Twitter works, they will find all the receipts. Well,
You know,
like
I
Marlena said, eye openers. They will find all the eye openers.
yeah, like I said, I had a mean tweet on Jimmy Kimmel.
You're never going to be able to get rid of that ever.
Huh?
You're never going to be able to get rid of that now. That's on TV.
It's hold on, my
Don't go lagging on me, AJ. I can't hear you. So while AJ gets his life together,
oh,
guys.
okay,
There you
all right,
go.
I'm
Hey,
fucking out.
what did you
Okay, my bad.
do? It was like two
Uh,
seconds.
I don't know
Keep
what the hell
going.
happened. Anyway, I had a mean tweet that was on Jimmy Kimmel, and I said this is 2010. And between 2010 and 2014, and when it aired, I had 100,000 tweets. So between that time, how did you guys find this tweet that I said to Sarah Silverman that I said I wanted to pee in her face with no real reason behind it? Which is funny because I actually wasn't trying to be mean. I was just like, it wasn't
How
a
do you
mean,
take that then? If that's not mean, how
like,
are we supposed to take that?
I was watching, I don't know, she was on something and I just had the thought, like, I want to pee in her face. I never had that thought before.
Oh
I
my
should
god,
tweet it.
AJ.
So like when I said that, I started getting, when it was on air, I started getting all these people following me, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Then somebody sent me the screenshot. They're like, isn't this you? I'm like, yeah, that is me. So I'm like, if they can find something that I said 4 or 5 years prior,
They will find everything.
and I'm not famous. The internet, the internet makes me not want to be famous.
The internet is cruel. It's so giving and yet so taking at the same time. It giveth, but it will taketh away as fast as it giveth.
Oh yeah, like you know, Kevin Hart had some tweets that he said years ago, even though he apologized before.
They did not care. That award show came up, and Ellen DeGeneres was like, "You will not soil my name as the last host of this.
and
What you will not do, Kevin Hart."
but yeah, no, I wouldn't be good with a celebrity with this stuff because I'd be flying people out to fight. Like, oh, you saying this stuff? Okay, I'm gonna fly you out. We can fight. I'm gonna put you on a nice
Why you
flight. I'm
can't
gonna put you in
fight
a hotel.
people? You can't just fight people.
That's why I couldn't be famous. I'd be out here fighting people. It'll be all bad.
They'll be like, AJ, that's not the point of being a celeb. It's not just so you can buy tickets to fight people. That is what you would do with your money. That
That's what I
would
would.
be
That's what I would be doing. Like, nah, you can catch this fade. Like Marlena said, the internet makes you watch a movie more than the Bible. Like, yeah.
Listen,
So
the internet is the Bible now.
speaking of flights, gonna use that as a segue into where
Oh,
has Jamie been? Where has Jamie been?
Jamie.
We have
Where have I
it's
been?
so 2 weeks ago we can give Jamie her congratulations officially now that she got married 2 weeks ago, and we got a couple pictures from the wedding as well. Miss Mrs. Sear, right?
Mrs. Sear. I know,
Mrs.
Marlena.
Sear, there
I've
we
been
go.
MIA. I've been
She's been
wedding,
MIA, but she's been
everything.
doing stuff. She's been doing stuff, big stuff, big
This is
stuff.
proof. I've been doing stuff. There was a
She
lot to
has
lead
been
up
doing
to
stuff.
all of this greatness.
So I was curious. Are you still going to have the Mrs. Johnson
Yes, I
there?
am. Yes, I am.
Okay,
Because listen, the way it is set up to change your name,
it's not easy.
I could give a baby faster than I could change my name. It is unnecessary what they do to women to change your name. To change your name, you have to first get your marriage license, which thankfully, the way it was set up in our town, they mail it to you as soon as it's processed. So we got
Okay,
that. Then you take that, you send that to Social Security along with your birth certificate and your license. You have to send your license. And then they send you a new Social Security card with all your stuff back. Then you take that Social Security card with your license and your marriage license and then a piece of mail, and you go down to the DMV. And from the DMV, you get a new license. And then from the new license, you can then start requesting every card that you have. And I have credit cards, I've got like JC Penney cards and crap like that. Got to change all of that. That's more waiting.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
there's changing mail. So what I said was, y'all know who I am. Y'all know who I married. I'm Mrs. Sear. That's me. It's a lot. And thank you,
That,
Marlena. It's been great. It's been a great 2 weeks. He like has like the full count. Like I think we're 21 days. So he's good.
21 days. Okay. So
21 days.
uh, your wedding did you get married out there, or was it a destination wedding, or
Yes. So as somebody who's done this wedding thing, I tell everybody go get married destination. Pick a nice place, take your husband, send your friends and family's photos, whichever ones can make it, tell them to come, keep it small. You go someplace and from your wedding you have your honeymoon and you're already set. They do everything for you on them all inclusive destination weddings. They give you the photographer, the hair, the makeup. All you bring is a dress and your groom and you're like that's it. The way I did it, we did like he, his mom, thank God for his mom. Love me some Gina. I would be lost without them. Everything set. Like, but everything you do yourself. Dealing with people, invitations, it's unnecessary. People are difficult for no
oh
reason.
yeah,
And then day of, hour, 2 hours before ceremony, I'm getting text messages from people. They cannot come. You about to get a whole invoice in your mailbox for $120 per person
I
because
need
the
that
way
I
it
need
is,
that refund.
I need that refund. I need a rebate check like my name was Trump because
Like for
this
real.
is unnecessary. So we had about maybe 12 to 14 people not show up. There was, yeah, but those who were there, they were meant to be there. It was a good time because of it. And it was an awesome day. It was an exhausting day, but it was absolutely worth all of the headache. All the headache you get in one little weekend is insane.
Yeah.
What we pulled together in like 2 weeks, it was a lot. But it was a lot of hot glue guns, invitations, people, planning, correspondence, but worth it completely. And then you go on your honeymoon and then you go and you hang out in California and you're supposed to meet AJ, but then his stomach hurts and then you don't get to meet AJ. So it's cool. So you just dress bougie and you go to Rodeo Drive and you walk around and you eat expensive food and drink expensive drinks. And we ate at the Ivy. Oh my God, that place is amazing. That's
In
like
Beverly Hills,
celeb.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
beautiful. The freaking TMZ bus drove by and they were like, hey, this is the celeb hotspot. It was awesome there. The food, magnificent. There's at least 4 to 6 waiters coming to your table. Nothing is empty. There's no dirty plates left on your table. They are so attentive. There is a reason why they are like number one. And it
The
really was
vibe.
no more expensive than going to like a steakhouse. It was worth it.
Beverly Hills. I mean, it's known. You said Beverly Hills. It's known for that. That's
Hmm.
just driving through there. Everything is nice over
So nice. The staff was top notch. I mean, they were like dropping people off at the front steps and like they'd chauffeur you
there.
right in. And if you got your reservation, you good to go. Don't walk up in there with a reservation. But if you got your reservation, you're good. I don't know how he managed to sneak us up on that list. He'd be pulling that little, you know,
I mean, yeah, he might have had
that
to. He
little
might
ritzy
have.
collar boy stuff on
Did
them.
you
But
did, did you have the? Did you see him shake anybody's hand when you guys walked up there?
he's smooth, so it could have happened.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
that's probably what it was. He probably had $100 bill up in there off that.
Knowing
There you go,
him,
right on
yeah.
the fly on the on the,
And
on
they
the,
got
on
us a table like, so that was the thing. Everybody who goes there wants to eat outside because they have these nice little umbrellas set up. He had us a table right as people watch. We got to people watch everything. He got us the table right there at the entrance. So we were sitting there. Food was great. And then, honeymoon ends. It's time to come home. And you
Ooh.
get on, and then you get on an airplane. You get on an airplane and you fly out of Ontario, which I didn't know that there was an Ontario in California. I know there's one in Canada because I've been there for work. So you fly out of Ontario, California, and you
Ontario.
land, oh, Ontario, and you
Yeah.
land in Phoenix, Arizona, right? And in
Uh,
Phoenix, they're like, oh, you just got a little 1 hour and a half layover. And we're like, cool. Get off the plane. Here's the best part. It was the same plane we were getting back on for our layover. Got off the plane. They cleaned it. I ran to Panda Express, got my orange chicken. I said, baby, I'm about to eat on this 5 hour flight home. Came back, got into, see, exactly, Marlena. I like Ontario better. Tar.
all right.
She's with me on that. Got on the plane, everybody seated. I already knew it was going to be some malarkey because when we came in on this plane, the plane was shaky. It was a rough landing. It was hot.
Oh,
And that was just from the Ontario up until Phoenix. It was rough. And for them to just clean the plane off, put new staff on, and then reload us back on and take off, I knew it was going to be some bull.
that
Okay.
sounds like something. That sounds like some bullshit already.
So we're sitting on the plane. We get on, our numbers, group 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. People are getting on. We're in the back of the plane because we had booked last minute our return flight. We didn't know we were returning. So we had booked them last minute, like maybe 4 days before. And we're sitting in front of 3 rows of straight babies.
Oh shit.
It was the entire back. I turned around. They were cute, don't get me wrong, but it was all babies from where we sat all the way back. Okay. So now we're on the plane and it's sitting there for a long time. We are sitting and it's hot. And you got to turn that little air thing. I'm turning and twisting and there ain't nothing. It's like,
Hell.
it is struggling. It is struggling to blow cold air. And we're sitting there and we're like, dang. So then the lady, I'm at the window, he's in the middle, and there's a lady who's at the end. So she gets on and she's like, dang, did you see? They're like trying to give us $350 to give up our seats because it was an overbooked flight. So there was like a standby list of like 11 people. And they were trying to give 350. Remember that number? They're trying to give 350 to anybody who would give up their seat. And she's like, I should have taken it. I was going to take another flight. This one's all packed. And then she looked around and she's like, and there's babies. No sooner than she said that, the baby behind her slapped her in the back of the head.
Oh, don't be
Me,
talking about my people.
me and Garrett looked at each other like, this is going to be a long flight. So now everybody's, they're closing all the things and we're sitting there and we're sitting there and we're sitting there. And it's like 15 minutes and it's hot. It is hot as balls. The devil, I looked out the window. He was out there directing planes. It was hot. Okay. I'm pretty sure I saw him go on break because the minute I saw him go on break out the window, Jesus came over the announcement speaker. Okay. And in unison, every baby in the back of the plane started to cry. I
It was
looked at
hot.
Garrett. I looked at the lady at the end of the row and I said, this is going to be a long flight. So I was about to pump my music. But then God came over the announcement speaker and he was like, excuse me, attention. So this flight is overweight and it is 115 degrees on the tarmac. We cannot take off unless we get 8 volunteers to get off of the plane right now. So I'm looking like I'm not leaving. I done sat down. I was sweating in the seat. I literally just took my sweater off. I was sweating. And I'm like, I'm not getting off. I'm going home. This flight's going to land at midnight. I'm going home. Then God said, I'm going to give you $750 per person if you get off. He didn't even finish speaking. I picked my bag up. I took my
Out of
AirPods
here.
out. I threw them in my bag. I grabbed the sweater. I grabbed my Panda Express bag. He was already out in the aisle. He was like, let's go.
I like that y'all was on the same page.
We were on, I didn't even have to look at him fully. He said, babe. I said, babe, out. Sears, out. We hop up. This other young girl hops up and she takes off the plane. Then there's like 2 families behind us. They hop up, get off. We get off and we're like, cool. At least at this point, I'm back in the air conditioning of the airport. So,
Right.
you know, so now we get up to the front desk. Thank God we were the first people at the desk. It was us and then that one girl that was in front of us. So she gets, she checks in or whatever. Now we have 3 American airline ladies who have no clue how to give flight credits and how to rebook a flight. So when you remove passengers from a plane, you have to go into the system now and manually remove them from the plane so it takes the number and the weight down because we
Right.
got off, but our luggage stayed on. So now you have to individually remove each person, and then there's a whole list that comes together, and you're supposed to send that over to the control tower so they can then check the weight and release the plane to go. 20 minutes we watched them fight with each other because they had no clue what they were doing. It was one old lady who was done with everybody's shit. She knew all her stuff and she is training. We were the guinea pigs of credits that day because she trained the 2 other ladies how to do it. When I tell you bickering, it got so uncomfortable at one point that another lady from a different American airline, because they were literally stopping planes from leaving in every section that had American Airlines flights. So they were walking back and forth from desk B on the other side concourse to concourse A, jumping between things like, oh, this plane can't take off. Don't try to rebook somebody on this one. We're trying to remove people. Hot mess. So we deal with that for 30 minutes. We get our tickets. They hand us our credits. We look at each other. We said, hey, look at us. High five mentally. He said, let's go get a drink. We literally mentally Paul read at each other like, hey, look at us. When we're going to go get drinks, our next flight takes off in an hour and a half. We got plenty of time. We went over to the bar right next to the concourse. So we went from A to B where they sent us. We're like, cool, we'll grab some drinks. Grab our drinks. Okay, let's head over to our gate now. It's, time. We get to our gate. It's taking a long time. It said that it was boarding, I think at 3. It's now like 3:30 and nothing is happening. It's getting packed. There's more babies. And it's packed in the whole area. All right. We're watching the plane take off to Miami behind us, watching the plane take off to Puerto Rico on the other side. And we are sitting there to get to New York City. I can hear my children yelling. So now, mind you, we flew from Ontario to Phoenix, and we were going to go from Phoenix to LaGuardia. So when they rebooked us, We had planned on going backwards. Okay. Backwards. We were going to fly from Phoenix to San Fran.
Okay.
Okay. And then from San Fran to LaGuardia or San Diego, one of those two. That plane malfunctions. They cannot put anybody on that plane. So now all we're thinking is they're like, oh, the plane is now being moved to Concourse A, where we came from. And it's going to take off at 6 p.m. instead. So we're doing the math and we're like, oh no, it's going to land. We're not going to have enough time to catch our layover to New York. Let's just go to customer service. Let's just have them rebook us. We'll just do it now before everybody else runs there and we lose our spots. Go to customer service. We then now go backwards again. We get to customer service. So we were going to land on that second flight at 6 a.m. We went from landing originally at midnight.
Oh, hell no.
So then we get to the desk again. And the lady's like, okay, here's what I can do for you. I can get you on this flight now at 7 p.m. Mind you, it's 3. At 7 p.m., that'll get you into, where do we fly into? LAX. We're going to get you, it's going to fly you into LAX. You'll land at LAX at 11 p.m.
Jesus Christ, man.
We're tired. And we're just like, give us whatever. And they're like, and it's going to leave from LAX at almost midnight and it'll get you. It's literally going to leave because it's the red eye at 11:59 and it will get you to New York for 7:30 a.m. Mind you, we had a ride that was picking us up, and I am texting him repeatedly. Time changes. Big ups to my cousin Chris. He had our back. And all he kept saying was, man, F them airlines. I got you, cuz.
I mean, like Marlena. Like Marlena said here, in other words, no
more. Well, listen, I still got flight credits, so a little bit more AA. And then
we can do it.
I got 750. He got 750. We got places to go. So then they rebook us. We're like, all right, let's go have some more drinks. We're at least $300 in on airport food and drinks at this point. So we get our new tickets. We ball up the other ones, toss them in the bag with the rest, walk from Concourse B down to the other end of Concourse B because we were in B27. We now had to walk to Concourse B like 20 or something. So we walk.
It's still Arizona.
We're still in Fuck Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. If your name is Phoenix, if you are the actor Joaquin Phoenix, if you're Phoenix from X-Men, if you live on Phoenix Avenue, if your car license plate has a PH or an X on it, I hate everything that involves Phoenix. I hate Arizona. I'll never drink Arizona iced tea again. I am traumatized and I'm over it. So then, yes, girl. So then we get to this food place. We sit down. I'm not even hungry anymore. We just... Are my kids killing each other? Oh my God. If you could hear, it's like a murder scene over here. So then we freaking sit down. We sit down next to a guy who also was on another American airline flight for work, and they just canceled his whole flight on his ass and rebooked him for hours later. And he's like, at least you guys got credits. He said, I'm flying through work. I get nothing.
Terrible.
So we all sit, drink. I'm like, all right, babe, let's go to the gate. I'm not missing a plane. Get to our gate. This plane actually takes off. Mind you, our luggage is on its way to New York.
Probably already there by now.
Probably already spinning on that little thing.
On the carousel. Yeah.
Looking for me. Like, where's my mama? Okay. So then we land in LAX. Why didn't you warn me LAX is ghetto, AJ?
Hey, LAX.
That is the Lost Souls Airport. So we've flown to LAX before, okay, and it was nice. What happened in a year?
I don't know. They did some construction.
Yeah, well, we
But
found that out when they had me walking through tunnels. I said, "This is how people get hit over the head and mugged." They ripped out all the air trans. You have to walk now. Marlena, I should have asked you, girl. Yeah, it is. I felt like Nene Leakes. Ooh, this is the ghetto. Child, I clutched my pearls. I didn't even have pearls on. They had me walking from one concourse to the other because the air trans, you know how big that airport is, okay?
it's huge, yeah.
And it's like, follow this tunnel to my death. Why am I following this tunnel? So then we walk this long tunnel that normally a tran is riding you in, okay? All the way around to the backside of LAX. We come up this escalator, and I'm thinking, it's 11 o'clock at night. I just want to grab something to eat so we can get on this plane and go. It was nothing but boarded up everything. One convenience shop. The Dunkin' was closing. She looked ghetto and angry. She did look like, don't walk up to this fucking counter because you won't get your feelings hurt. She was closing things. We ended up spending $40 for 2 nasty sandwiches, an apple
Oh,
juice, no, a Sprite and a water. $40.
yeah. Jesus.
Then we couldn't find any seating. They had like bus terminal seats in there. I said, who the hell? It was dead ass bus terminal seats. Okay. I felt like at this point, if the plane pulls in, I'm going to be standing like I'm on the subway and there's no seats because it was so ghetto. Yeah, Brandy, it was ghetto. Okay. I should have asked for a wheelchair. I should have been like, oh, because you know what? I had on wedges. I wasn't expecting to have to walk like Jesus through the desert for my people to get from one concourse to the next. So I was like, I'm just putting on my little wedges, packed my little sandals and my little carry-on that they checked for me because I was supposed to be on the flight that got me home at midnight, but I'm not. But my bags is, my flats was comfortable going around the little terminal gate thing. Okay. So
Man,
then
Heathrow was terrible too.
it was awful. So then, you know, we're waiting because we see that there's a flight leaving. So we're like, okay, there's going to be seats that are going to open up. We're waiting. It's a flight to Miami. It was probably the most hood American airline flight to Miami I've ever seen in my life. First of all, everybody who works for American Airlines is ghetto. They don't care about their job. They don't care about the passengers. They don't care about anything. Okay. People were walking up to the desk asking questions, and they was like, we a booked flight, so you need to go to the back.
Damn, what Brandy said. I went to Heathrow and they wouldn't even get to the wheelchair people. They said too late and they like, God damn. That just might be a British thing.
That I think it is.
I
It's definitely a British thing. That's Europe, period. Europeans do not care.
nah,
Don't
they never have.
They do not care. There are no fucks to give. They have a pocket full of them, but they're not going to give you one.
They're all for themselves.
So then the Miami flight finally takes off. They were kicking people off that flight. They were handing out credits like it was a student loan refund. Finally, my plane
How did
pulls in. Finally. And all I'm thinking is, I'm not going to get excited until I'm on the plane and it's
in
wheels.
the air? In the air.
I see the crew come up. See, this is how I should have known back in Phoenix it was going to be some bullshit. Because when the crew walked up to the front gate, they told the crew, you can't get on.
Damn.
So the crew, like the dude was waiting, he checking his cell phone. When the crew was told they couldn't get on, I should have known. Like,
Hey, if anybody I know can do that, that's what Marlena can. Said I can low key
listen,
want to finesse this.
Marlena, when we headed out to Cali, though, there was a husband with his wife. He knew the finesse. He went and got a wheelchair, and she was perfectly able-bodied. Sure enough, wheeled her to the front. And the minute they said, anybody in a wheelchair can get on now, he's like, we got our overhead bins. They was like group 8. They was not getting overhead bins. He sure enough finessed with the wheelchair scam and got their asses on that plane. I should have finessed because
they can't ask you any questions about it.
they can't. What you gonna ask me? I have rights. I may not be disabled, but I have disabled rights.
Yeah, so
You're gonna ask me what's wrong with me? I twisted my ankle walking in these wedges from concourse A to B. That's what happened. Okay, I got a blister on my foot now because I had to walk around in wedges for 14 hours. So angry. So angry. So then we get on the plane in hood ass LAX. There were actual seats, there were seat belts. It wasn't a Spirit airline flight. It was close. I was tempted to take Spirit at one point, y'all. And you know, Spirit ain't nothing but a soul plane in real life.
Hey, soul plane was nice. That's a RTD bus.
I was tempted to take a Spirit flight. That's how mad I was with American by the end of the night. So we get on this flight. It was a bougie American airline flight too. So, yes, Marlena, I was going to get on Spirit. You know, I was going to get on Spirit. I was going to get on Breeze. I was going to get on any flight that would have gotten me. Yeah, any of them. They would have got me there. I would have been there. I would have taken a train at this point. I would have gotten on the back of a turtle's back and rode to New York City. It would have gotten me there. I just wanted to be home. And then we get on the plane and they all got attitudes, all the stewardesses, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm putting my earbuds in and going to sleep. But I got my free cheese platter. I got my 2 apple juices. I went to sleep. I woke up. I was in New York City. And that is the end of my torment. But that was the longest 750 flight credit. I said it's not going to be worth it till I'm on the next trip. I'm still mad. I'm scorned. I am wounded, and there is salt in the wound, and it is an open wound that's not going to heal right because Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. Brandy works as a flight attendant, so she knows what's up.
So you know.
She knows what's up.
Wait, she said this ghetto, y'all ghetto. Yes, they were ghetto and angry. Like, how are you mad at me? Because I'm mad because this flight ain't take off. We all mad. Listen, when we landed, I should have known that everything was going to be fucked up on that rebook of that flight when we landed from Ontario, because when we got to Phoenix, the flight attendants were defeated.
What is DFW?
Isn't that in Texas, DFW? That's Dallas Fort Worth, right?
Dallas.
I think that's the Dallas Fort Worth airline. I will never connect in Phoenix again, Brandy. I promise you. I promise my dog laying here. Okay. I promise an unborn child that I do not have, may not have, that I will never lay over in Phoenix, Arizona again. It's not happening. And if it happens, I have been paid millions of dollars to go back.
7 figures.
You know what? If it happens, it's because somebody didn't warn me that my layover was in Phoenix until I'm already on the plane.
Shit, Brandy said, if I get that on my schedule, I drop it. Nope, I'm good.
Like a drug habit, because I was so disappointed in everything. It was so expensive to be in that airport. I was so tired of being in that airport. The people who worked in that airport had attitudes. It was sloppy. The bathrooms were a mess. The customer service desk the only person who was kind to us was the second customer service American airline lady who had to rebook our flight for the 3rd time. She saw the frustration. She saw the defeat. She saw we were just freshly married. She saw that we were over life. I was ready to go outside and walk home. I didn't even care. And she rebooked our flight. I will never. I told you, if your name is Phoenix, don't talk to me. If you live in Phoenix, don't talk to me. If you know anybody who's got any kind of initials that are PX or PH or PHX, don't talk to me. If you have a Phoenix, I was going to get a Phoenix tattoo because I've always loved it. Not happening now. Don't care about Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns team can kiss my ass. Anything Phoenix. Arizona Iced Tea can go to hell. I'm done.
So that leads us to what happened last week. Because this was last week. You know, we were getting ready to do the podcast last week.
Yes. Sorry, y'all.
I was waiting. I was like, yeah, you know, Jamie should be coming up now any second now. Nah, she fell asleep.
Jamie landed at 7:36 a.m. in New York City. Jamie's cousin picked her up from the airport, from our terminal, getting our bags, which were locked up, by the way. Thank God we didn't lose any of our luggage. They locked them up in the back. We got our luggage, got my cousin's car. I sat in the front seat and died. And I slept it was like a 2-hour drive, and I could only sleep for 30 because he drive like Batman. He was zooming in and out of people in his little tiny car trying to kill me. Got home, and then I had to work, y'all. You want to know why I had to work? Because I had booked myself to work that day, thinking I was supposed to be home already. So I logged on at 3:30 when I got home. Mind you, left the airport, got from New York. No, we got home like 1 p.m. We got home 1, okay, after landing and getting our bags and getting from New York to Connecticut. Get in the house. I log on for work. I work until about 6 o'clock. AJ's like, hey, you good to go? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good to go. I'm just going to just send me the link. I'll log in. I sat on my bed, and my bed hugged me, and it said, shh, it's okay. They are there. I won't let Phoenix hurt you anymore.
Just
And my purple mattress said, just close your eyes. And I closed my eyes for 2 minutes, and it turned into an hour and 47 minutes. And I text AJ like, bruh, what happened was.
I was like, damn, out of all the topics, because last week, we could probably talk about it a little bit now since you're here now. Last week's topic was the friend zone.
Yes,
and I'm like, oh shit, here I am, a guy doing a podcast talking about the friend zone. I'm getting judged the fuck up right now, and this isn't what it is. This is what it seems, and I'm like, fuck.
I know these ladies took care of you.
Who came on? Like my mom came on. Like not too many people.
Your mom was on. Oh, yeah. See, now I feel awful. I missed it. AJ's mom was on.
The friend zone. I think there's a lot of discourse about the friend zone online. People say it doesn't exist.
Oh, it absolutely exists.
It does exist. Now, when they say it doesn't exist, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about that guy that is sticking around saying, "Oh, I'm just, oh yeah, we're just friends," and the second you get a boyfriend, he vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shitty person. Like you weren't a shitty person. You were a vulture. You're sitting around waiting for something to happen, basically. But there's the friend zone where it's like two people who had mutually interested in each other, and one day somebody loses interest and they just want to be friends.
I mean, that
it's up to that person to decide whether they want to be friends or not. Because I have women friends in my life that started out one way where it was like, yeah, we like each other. Minds change, and
it happens.
I'm friends with them now. And I'm pretty sure you've had your fair share of men, let's just be friends.
Yeah. It's funny because I've always been the tomboy. So all my friends have always been like boys. Women annoy me. So having female friends growing up was always awkward. I've always had guy friends climb trees. My best friend, honestly, I call him my brother because my mom raised him. But to me, that is like my best friend. He's my brother. Consider nothing else. There's no like friend zone. There's no like he could have thought there could have been more. He calls me his little sister. He will fight somebody for me. That's just how it is. We were raised in the same home. He'd spend the night. My mom would feed him. We'd go to school together. Boom, that's it. But then I've had guys when I first got divorced the first time, and they'd be like, "Oh no, it's cool. No, we're just friends. I know you just got into it. You just got a marriage and you just got divorced and blah, blah." But they wanted ass. They wanted more. So they would be like that friend. They'd be like, "I'll be here for opinions. I'll be here to help you with this. I'll be here to help you with that." And then when I go on a date with somebody else, then they're mad or they're pissy or they want to shit talk that person. So, or they'd be like, "I'm always going to be here. That's why you shouldn't date all those losers." I'm like, dude, you're my friend. Like, get the hell out of here. So I don't have any of
Second
my
that
friends anymore.
second that guy does anything remotely bad, they start talking shit about the guy, which is something I always look
Hmm.
down on. I
Or
don't
if they
know.
see them out, they watching them so they can come back and tell you something bad or. Hmm.
Those types, they're quick to what they call dirty macking. I'm gonna make this guy look bad to make myself look good. But yeah,
But I haven't had a ton of like, I've never done the guy friend zone thing. I always make it very clear and blatant when I had a guy that was like a friend, like, you're just my friend. This will never be more than that. It's not happening. Which I realize now I don't really have any male friends because the older you get, the more you realize that men don't want to be your friend. They just eventually want a vagina. So,
well, for me, there's a couple of women where it's like things didn't go as I thought they would, but I still seen value in being friends with them. So I'm still friends with
well,
them.
see, that's different. Yeah, like, yeah, that's different though.
I when I was doing stand up, I had a little joke that I used to tell about the friend zone. Maybe it probably didn't age too well, but it was just like there's different levels of the friend zone. You got the friend zone, which everybody knows. You can actually get out of that friend zone. People can grow and whatever. But then you got the
Yeah,
friend fortress where it's a little harder to get out of. But then you go a little deeper. You got friend dungeon. Then you go a little lower. Then you got like a brother hell. If a woman tells you you are like a brother to her, you're done. Don't even
you're
try.
done. Just
You're
put the
done.
fork in yourself, turn around, walk into the
Because
sun.
if a woman says you're like a brother to her, she doesn't see you as a anything sexual at all.
At all, ever, ever. It's never
So
gonna happen.
and
Absolutely,
there's one.
Camille. The minute you know a guy likes you, the entire relationship is cut. There's no friendship, there's no communication. Even if they say it as a joke, you know it's not a joke. They're just putting it out there. So now you're aware. I 100% agree. That's why when I started dating, that's how it was. Any guy friends I had, cut them off because they would say things and I'd be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm dating this guy. This is not done. Just done.
Yeah, I see women online talking about that quite often. Like, I'll be hanging out with this guy and we've been cool and everything. We've been friends, and then all of a sudden he wants to tell me how much he likes me. It's like, see now you making it look bad. You put your intentions up front, like
Hmm.
especially if you're over the age of 24, 25, you should be knowing this. That's
You should
teenage
know.
stuff to me. You should know.
Exactly. You should know. It's true. They don't care that you cut them off. They will still absolutely 100%. Yeah. So they're all blocked. So, but I actually, it's funny because, you know, I see women who are like, you always see that argument. That's another one of those like dumb arguments you see on Facebook too. Like, why can't women and men be friends? Because it's not, no. That's just like all these movies where they make two friends that are a guy and a girl, and they're friends and they help each other in dating advice and blah blah blah. And the next thing you know, Justin Timberlake is smashing uglies with Mina Kunis in the movie. Like that's that's how it is though in real life. Like there is no a male can be friends with a female. Like it's different. So like we go out on couple dates with our friends that are couples. So like my friend, I'm with her and she's got her guy who's his friend, and I'm like, oh, your husband's cool, blah blah blah. And if like, you know, when it was, I think my birthday, he went to my best friend and was like getting advice and stuff, or with the engagement and stuff, he went to. But that's different because that's it's just a trust thing. But he wouldn't go hang out with her and have lunch without me.
Right.
That's just weird. Or like I wouldn't go have lunch with one of his friends without him. Be like, oh no, this is totally normal, babe. Like we're just hanging out. No, it's just not normal.
Now, in those situations, it's like, I call them step friends. It's not they're friends, but they're like a step brother. They're step friends. That's the friend of my friend.
See, Camille, and then that's like my one friend. So Cliff, he actually is a wrestler. He does a lot. He used to do a lot of like backyard shows, but now he does like booked wrestling gigs. And um we've known each other since we were literally like 6 or 7 years old, since elementary school. And then he was my neighbor, and he had like a really rough childhood, and my mom pretty much raised him. So like my mom is like his mom, and to me that's my brother. Like that's there's no other. He wouldn't look at me that way, I wouldn't look at him, and he would knock anybody out for me, and I would do the same for him.
That was love. That was like a brother hell.
She said
There's
don't
one.
even
There's,
go.
there's one. There's one that's worse than like a brother hell, and it was something from The Simpsons where Lisa said that Milhouse is like a big sister. If a woman says that you are like a big sister, just
Yo, as a
yeah,
dude,
just give the fuck
defense,
up.
all of the offense. Immediately go and just walk into the ocean in all your clothes. In
Just
every piece of clothing you got, just walk right into the ocean.
I've never had that one. I've never had like a big sister. I've never had that one.
I've never called no dude like a big sister.
It
But
also
again,
does,
it's
a lot of this stuff does come with maturity. Also, I got to a point with myself. You know, I'm learning. I'm learning how women think from this woman. This person that Marlena. Marlena has been there for me. She'll check me on my bullshit behavior. You know, with
hmm
with
go, Marlena.
you
Continue this
know,
behavior.
I hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, or like I'll tell her like, oh well, I'm doing this with this girl. Well, I'm trying to talk to this girl, and she's like, well, she doesn't sound like she's too into you. Haven't really listened to that in the past, but there's
You not listen? No.
this we're not going to talk about that, about me listening, not listening. I'm on a quest to better myself right now anyway, so I'm not. It's funny. Hey, don't do that. You know. But yeah, it comes with a lot of maturity also. You know, if you can think past your monkey brain of, oh, me man, that woman, sex. I mean that's usually what it is. You can't think these guys can't think past sex.
They can't. They can't.
And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, men and women can't be friends. Yes, they can. Yes, they
They can. Some can. So that's like if I'm sitting and Garrett's sitting next to me and one of my girlfriends calls me and he's like listening to whatever it is that they're telling and they're like, oh, what does he mean when he does this and blah, blah, blah. And Garrett will look at me and be like, he's not interested. That's what that means. Like that's the one thing about him. He has become like the go-to guidebook for my girlfriends in dating because they'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what this means or why would he do this? And he'll flat out be like, because he's a dog. Like Garrett, he'll call it like because dude's a dog and he probably got another woman. He just don't want you over there right now. Like that's why you
yeah.
only come over late at night. So
But
it's
I
real.
know that I know it is a common concern when it comes, especially when you're dating somebody new, like or having friends of the opposite sex. So that's one of the things that I tell women right off the top. Like my best friend's a woman. Tell them that right off the top because I ain't got nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide.
Right.
So this is what it is. Though go ahead and ask me whatever kind of questions you want to ask. Oh, have you guys ever been intimate or you guys ever dated? No. And with the women that I've dated that have met Marlena, they're always like, yeah, ain't nothing happening with them.
They're like, not happening here. This is all good.
I mean, Marlena calls me bro all the time. So it's like,
You is bro. Bruh.
yeah, bro.
Bruh. I hit you with the bruh.
Yeah, if you bro, that should be a good indication right there. I mean, Camille's another friend. Another friend. I've known Camille since high school. You know, we're friends. Ain't nothing been more than that.
Yeah, see, I will say that that's true because, like, my little brother has friends that to me are like my little brothers, and those are friends. But again, when You know, in certain situations, this guy does not want to be your friend. Women know, and men know. But no, we can't be friends. No, the fuck we can't. I know what the hell you want. Go away.
Absolutely not.
Let me get my Be Gone spray. Go on now. Yeah. Go back to your corner. I
But
feel like, what else did I miss? Did I miss another podcast while I was gone?
no, because the other week
We took the
uh
break.
we took the break
Yes.
because I didn't want to infringe on your honey.
That's right. I was fresh off of wedding, getting ready for honeymoon, and we took the break. Yep, that's right. That's right.
Right.
So, but yeah, in new news, we know that Lizzo's trash, and yeah, that
Jamie
seems.
Jamie Jamie has gotten married.
I've gotten married. Lizzo's trash. The world is round. Maybe, could not be, possibly.
Shaped like a pyramid. I don't
It. We don't know. But my ring is amazing.
know. Oh, look at that.
He done so good.
Nice.
So yeah,
We can show the pictures again since we got some people in here.
I know we got new faces in here.
Yo,
It was a party, and you guys, the minute I get my intro, I promise I will hand it over to AJ so he can post it because my intro was live. We were lit. It was a party.
hold up. What you mean, Camille? What you mean I was a quiet dude? I wasn't a quiet dude. I
Camille
ain't never
called you out.
I ain't never been quiet. I ain't never been quiet. Maybe ninth grade. I was a little quiet.
Camille
Ninth grade
called
first
you
semester.
out. Marlena and Camille hold no punches with you. Like nope.
We just didn't cross paths really. And then what happened with me and Camille? We've been friends on Facebook, and then we are like, oh, let's go to. What you mean? I was kind of quiet. I was not quiet.
This is great. This is awesome.
Now me and Camille ended up going like to like a little like restaurant or whatever. Hung out, just got to know each other. I ain't quiet. I was no.
You never said shit around me. They are
I
calling
I
you
was
out. This is
I was
great.
not I was not quiet.
They
I
say
was
otherwise.
they I don't know what they talking about. This is incorrect. Well, yeah, like I'm trying to think when did we even really interact? What, like during the school musicals, maybe? Dude with the long hair. I had my hair was locked up in
Oh,
high
I've
school.
seen that silk press picture.
Oh no, that was after high school.
Oh, that was after high school. Oh,
Yeah,
with
that was
with the
that
smooth silk press.
man. I used to go to the I'd go to the beauty salon and get my hair pressed out and have all these little old ladies like, look at your hair. How'd you get your hair like that? And all that stuff. Like I was man, people were mad when I cut my hair that first time. How dare you? I mean, that was
I feel
part of
like you
my.
have to get permissions to cut hair sometimes. Like people have really beautiful hair, and everybody will admire it, and then they'll just show up with it gone, and people are like, "We were
How
supposed to
dare you?
discuss this. This is a consensus. You need to vote on these things. You can't just go change up on us
Like that.
like
Yeah,
that."
my when I had the long hair with the pressed out hair, that was like part of my wrestling character. I would come down to the ring and do all that kind of stuff. And come out to Diamonds and Pearls by Prince.
That was my joint. I loved that song.
I did. I had a fro. I had a fro at one point too. It didn't. My hair wasn't as coarse. I wish it was a little more coarse so it could have been. I wanted an afro for maximum Caucasian intimidation. That's
You
that was
know,
that was
in
sort of.
Cali, he was trying to use me to scare white people the whole time.
That's not the place for that. Cali ain't the place for
They were
that.
mortified of me. It was great.
What,
We're in
what,
freaking Newport Beach.
oh, Newport. Yeah, yeah. Marlene. If
I
Marlene's
was
still in here,
one of three black people.
that was probably the city was like, oh my god, yeah.
And I have red braids. Okay, I'm walking around in a bikini and like really nice, like these outfits, and they look. Even the babies were like, "What is this? Is this? Is this
Yeah,
like?
Marlene,
Is this an alien?"
Marlene, like Newport's super nice. It's really nice.
It's beautiful. We were right on Seashore Drive.
You liked when I had the dreads in the team lineup. Thank you, Hazel.
Hazel, okay, Hazel. Hazel came
Appreciate
through.
that. Yeah, like I ended up in Newport a couple times doing Uber, and I'm like, I feel like the city just whispered and told me to, hey, you got to get up out of here.
It was. We would go sit. So the patio was on the beach. So it's like patio, the little walkway for people to walk, beach. We were right there in the middle of it. Like all these expensive $10 million houses and crap were right in the middle of it. And we're sitting on the porch. And as people would walk by, you would just see the like, the fuck's she doing here? Sort of look on their faces like,
Yeah, people actually will look at,
oh,
people
the
actually look at you like
entire time. Like they'd walk by and we sitting out there drinking champagne,
whatever.
whatever. I'm going to the Ivy for lunch, so whatever. But yeah, and just walking up and there were, I legit think I saw 3 black people
That's
and
a
2
lot.
were a
That's a
couple.
lot. That's a lot for Newport because Newport's not L.A. When you had said that, I was thinking L.A. I'm like, ain't nobody scared of no black people in L.A.
Oh no,
That's
no,
not,
Newport Beach.
nah, that's not happening. But like out there, yeah.
Yeah, we went over there too for lunch one day.
Oh, Balboa Island.
Balboa Island, yeah.
Oh, is that where you were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think Kobe did actually live in Newport.
So the house we were in was a couple doors down from the house Dennis Rodman used to own.
Okay. Did you happen to see any celebrities while you were out here?
I think only 2. They were like old, they're like older TV celebs. So I remember pointing out one to him, and he was on his bike riding, like just riding his bike. Normal.
It's normal out here. I've picked up a couple celebrities doing Uber. And it's like, hey,
Hey, you're a person of importance.
I listened to Conan O'Brien's podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, I took an Uber to work today." I'm like, "Man, if I picked up Conan O'Brien in my fucking
That would
car,
be
I'd,
amazing.
I'd lose my fucking mind."
I would live for that.
And he would love that because he loves when people recognize him. So it
He
would be
does.
cool.
I heard that. I heard Conan O'Brien loves when people recognize him.
Yeah, he's been one of the nicer celebrities.
It's so funny. We left on Wednesday. We should have stayed till Friday, like we originally were gonna do. Because if we would have stayed till Friday, Thursday we were gonna go see Dave Chappelle at Improv, and then there was a Nas concert that was out. Like so many things happened the day after we left, and we were gonna stay till Friday, and we were like, no, let's go home and be responsible. And then we got stuck in Phoenix for 14 hours.
Should have been irresponsible.
Responsible.
I wanted to do that karaoke thing in Studio City. I think that would have been a pretty cool way to
That looked
meet up.
so dope, but that was such a long drive.
Yeah, like LA, we don't do things based on miles. We do it based on like, how long is it going to take me to get there?
That was the thing. We would pull up Waze for like everything because that was what we learned. We went to the zoo one day and the zoo was not that far. And at one point, the phone said 23 miles and we still had 52 minutes to drive. And I said, how the hell? How? How is this mathing? And it was like that when we went to LA too. It was like, 13 miles, 37 minutes. I was like, what?
Yeah, just like Hazel said here, we do things based on freeways.
Them freeways
like, hey,
are not right, yo.
I tell people all the time, if I have to give them 2 freeways to come see you, that's a long distance relationship. Like you want me to
I realize what you mean now too, because we'd go from one freeway to another, and I'm like, where the hell are we?
It's a long ass way. Like, did you have to get on
a long ass drive? Why am I taking 2 different freeways? Yeah, no.
Did you have to get on the 405 freeway?
Yes, we did.
Fuck that freeway. That freeway sucks. That freeway is the worst. The 405. Luckily, hopefully, you didn't have to get on the 710. That's a horrible
No, we did
freeway
not
as
have to
well.
take. I just remember the 405. That one I
But
remember.
the 110 can be very scary for people that haven't been on it because the 210 North, once you pass the downtown part, the freeway literally is like somebody just scribbled this freeway. Like that's how they drew it. And the off ramp from the freeway go from the freeway right to the street.
Yo, that's not right. That's
It's
not how it's supposed
terrifying.
to work. That's not how
Like
that's supposed to work at all.
it was the first freeway built in America, I believe,
Okay.
1940s.
Okay.
So you
So
know
they're
they
not
weren't.
they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna redo it. They're just gonna leave it.
Nah, it's too busy. Camille, you must be out your mind.
Camille,
The 110 to the wait,
that
the
is
101 to
too
the
many
130.
numbers.
Oh, that
The
makes me sick.
101 to the 134 to the 210 to the 605 to the sad face.
To the sad face. That's pretty much what it is, man. I'm looking at that, looking for. I would look for another route. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I
Oh,
was dating. I was dating a girl who lived in Long Beach,
okay.
and Long Beach is south of Pasadena. Hell no. Like Pasadena to Long Beach, depending on what time, it could take you a good 2-3 hours.
That's ridiculous. That is
And
ridiculous.
and she wanted to go to this place in downtown, which downtown is the midway point from between Hollywood, between Pasadena and Long Beach. So I was like, okay, cool. You're gonna meet me there? She's like, oh, you're not gonna pick me up? I'm like, oh, you put me in a real shitty position right now.
Wow. You're about
So I was
to.
like, I guess I'll pick you up. Uh, I drive for a living, right? Anyway, so I go Pasadena to Long Beach to downtown, downtown back to Long Beach to take her home, back to Pasadena to go home. 100 miles round trip.
Yo, that's no, that's not okay. That's not.
But
I
I
just
didn't even
drove
have a
like
good
I was in
time.
New York, so I felt very comfortable
Ooh,
shooting from
but I'm
that fourth lane all the way over to the first.
oh yeah, I drive like a lunatic. Absolute lunatic. The road is mine. Y'all gonna get out my way.
That I had to learn that. So like the first day we had the rental car, I was like driving all cautious. Mm-mm, mm-mm. By the
I,
time we went to the Angels game, I was driving one handed. I was like, mm-mm, I'm just gonna zoom in and out of here.
yeah,
110 was
I
supposed to
mean,
be a parkway for leisure drive. Oh,
yeah. So like, if you ever see the 110, it's 3-lane highway. You drive through like there's houses not too far away from the freeway. Like it's a literal. It's more. It's like a street freeway mix, and you
yeah,
drive it
that's
all the
too.
way up, and it leads into Pasadena.
That's too much. That's too much.
But I mean, there's some history with that freeway too. Like it's pretty interesting history. If you ever decide to look it up.
I'm gonna have to look it up because it sounds traumatic. I'm glad I didn't have to drive it. So
I got into it. I was in an accident on that freeway. Somebody, you know, because the freeway curves, so there's a lot of like blind curves, coming around. Come around one of those curves, everybody came to a complete stop because there was a fire on the freeway. So I stopped. Person behind me didn't, and the rear ended me. So I get out, check my car, and they drove off. Like, man,
they drove off.
yeah, like you piece of shit. I
People
wish
suck
bad things on you.
forever.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I think we're call it a night right here. So Jamie, where can they find you?
Mrs. Johnson 86, even though I should probably at least remove the R because it's just a Ms. Johnson now, because technically I'm not a Johnson anymore. I'm a Sear. It's a lot of math, but yeah. So Mrs. Johnson 86, that's where y'all find me.
And I am Alonzo Jules everywhere on any social media that you want to find me on. So for AJ Graham, this is Miss Jamie Steer.
You got
And
it.
I will say good morning,
Good night and goodbye.
goodbye.
See, we're gonna get this.
We're
We're gonna get